When it comes to sambo-based combat, relentless technique and devastating power, no other heavyweight surpasses Aleksander Emelianenko, known as the Grim Reaper. The 43-year-old Russian has crushed his opponents with a combination of brute strength and technical skill. Since his debut in 2003, Aleksander has faced some of the toughest names in the sport, racking up sambo titles and leaving an indelible mark on the heavyweight division. It's time to rewind the tape and relive how Aleksander Emelianenko brutalized his opponents to earn the respect and attention he has today. But before continuing, please subscribe. Born on August 2, 1981 in Stary Oskol, Russia, Aleksander showed interest in martial arts from a young age. Influenced by his older brother Fedor Emelianenko, who was already immersed in the world of sambo and MMA, Aleksander began training in sambo at an early age, accompanying Fedor to his practices and observing the movements of more experienced athletes. Soon his curiosity turned into passion, and he began formal training under the guidance of Vladimir Mihailovich Voronov, a renowned sambo coach. During his adolescence, Aleksander faced financial and personal challenges, but his dedication to the sport never wavered. At 16, he achieved the title of Russian Master of Sport in Judo, demonstrating his talent and discipline. In 1999, he won the European Sambo Championship, establishing himself as a promising figure in the sport. But his early days were not all success. Due to his criminal tendencies, he served several prison sentences. After being released and becoming known for his aggressive style and technical prowess, Aleksander competed in organizations such as Pride and M1 Global, facing some of the biggest names in MMA. Although his career has had its ups and downs, his legacy as one of the most charismatic and talented fighters of his generation remains strong. After establishing himself as one of the best combat sambo practitioners, he decided to take his talents to the world of MMA in 2003. His experience in sambo, where he had won multiple world and European championships, provided him with a solid foundation for adapting to the octagon. The confrontation between Aleksander Emelianenko and Asuario Silva at Pride Bushido 1 was a strategic and physical battle that marked Aleksander's MMA debut. Silva, an experienced fighter, tried to impose his rhythm with constant attacks and clinch work. But Aleksander managed to stay calm and respond with precise strikes. The fight extended over 2 intense rounds, where both fighters exchanged blows and strategies. In the end, Aleksander took the victory by split decision, marking a promising start to his MMA career and making it clear that his transition from sambo to the octagon would be successful. After a promising debut in Pride Bushido, Aleksander Emelianenko continued his rise in MMA with an impressive performance against Matt the Twin Tiger Foki in his second professional fight. In a bout that highlighted his technical and physical dominance, from the start, Aleksander imposed his rhythm with precise striking and absolute control in the clinch.
In the pre-fight interviews, he said he was going to take the fight to Emelianenko.
Watch out when he's charging forward. He's dropping his head right into that left hook.
Foki says he's very adaptable, explosive, and powerful, but Emelianenko, Foki...
They're both, one's got an overhook and one's got an underhook. Good balance there by Foki, but...
Foki tried to resist, but Aleksander's experience and skill proved too much.
Underneath him, he really needs to move.
Oh,
really needs to move his guard.
definitely some ground.
In the first round, Emelianenko capitalized on an opening and finished the fight with a flawless armbar, securing a resounding victory.
Back's turning again. He's got it. Now he's getting the
very
choke
well
underneath.
lead.
He's got the
There's
choke.
the choke, and he gets it. The half Nelson could have led to it.
This triumph not only cemented his reputation, but also demonstrated his ability to adapt and excel on the MMA stage. After that victory, Aleksander Emelianenko continued competing in both MMA and sambo. In his third professional fight, Aleksander Emelianenko faced Angelo Araujo in a bout notable for its power and precision. Araujo tried to remain competitive, but Emelianenko's constant pressure and ability to capitalize on opportunities left him with no options. Aleksander imposed his aggressive striking, landing precise punches that weakened his opponent. In the first round, he found the perfect opening to unleash a series of devastating attacks that led the referee to stop the fight via TKO after observing the damage Aleksander had caused. This victory not only reaffirmed his ability to finish fights quickly, but also cemented his reputation as one of the most promising fighters in the world of MMA. After going unbeaten, Aleksander Emelianenko was preparing for one of the most iconic fights of his career, his confrontation with Mirko "Cro Cop" Filipovic at Pride Final Conflict 2004. It was a clash of titans that left an indelible mark on MMA history. From the start, Mirko imposed his rhythm with his trademark striking, keeping Aleksander on the defensive with his precision and power.
Emelianenko's doing what he has to do, try to lock him up in the corner, but you don't want to shoot everything there.
There's that left kick of his, a Verdum to his training stable.
Emelianenko attempted to close the distance and use his sambo background to control the fight. But Cro Cop held firm, utilizing his speed and technique to avoid any takedown attempts.
No, it's going to be difficult.
And Emelianenko showing no fear whatsoever. There's a tie clinch of his own. There's a knee.
And
now a left of right. Cro Cop with a left of his own. And he stunned him. Now there he is. Upstairs. Takes him down.
The decisive moment came when Mirko connected with a devastating high kick, known as his signature, that landed directly on Aleksander's head, leading to a first-round knockout. This blow not only secured the victory for Cro Cop, but also became one of the most iconic moments of his career and for the Pride organization.
And with the right, doing a good job of avoiding this is Cro Cop.
Yeah, but...
There it is! The trademark left kick, and it's over!
He's tuning in on his opponent, and there he comes. Oh, people, I cannot kick him in the head. He's too big. Well, there's your answer.
After a painful loss to Mirko Cro Cop, Emelianenko returned to the octagon with renewed determination. The Pride 28 high-octane clash between Aleksander Emelianenko and James Thompson was an adrenaline-fueled, scorching event that ended in just 11 seconds. As soon as the bell rang, Thompson charged hard, but the Russian's response was devastating.
Dès que ça commence, et là, regardez, et ouais, c'est parti. Il a touché, il a poussé Alexander. Maintenant, faut se replacer par contre parce qu'il a pris un coup là.
A devastating right hand that knocked Thompson down without giving him a chance to catch his breath. This lightning knockout not only demonstrated Emelianenko's precision and power, but also served as a powerful comeback, reaffirming that a momentary setback can be transformed into fuel for an even stronger comeback.
Maintenant, faut se replacer par contre parce qu'il a pris un coup là. On l'a touché, il est touché l'anglais. Bon, c'est déjà terminé. C'est déjà terminé. C'est déjà terminé.
After his astonishing return at Pride 28 with the lightning knockout of James Thompson, Aleksander Emelianenko returned to the octagon at Pride Bushido 6 with renewed energy and determination. This time he faced Ricardo Moraes, and the fight became a true display of precision and power. From the opening whistle, Emelianenko imposed his relentless pace, with a lethal combination of punches blending his sambo mastery with devastating striking.
Minotauro team, an offshoot of the Brazilian top team, a team formed by Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira, and Moraes is already tagged with a shot from...
Hey, and what did Alexander do with us?
Oh,
Here we go.
Blocks him with
He's
the
got
left
it.
and right,
It's
and
over.
Moraes is already out.
He took control of the fight. The Russian offense was so relentless that in just 15 seconds of the first round, a series of decisive blows were unleashed, culminating in a technical knockout that sealed the victory.
Blocks him with the left and right, and Moraes is already out of the ring, and it's over.
And you remember, he told us he was dancing in the interview room.
This fight was not only a resounding response to his previous success, but also demonstrated his ability to transform pressure into pure aggression and effectiveness in the octagon. After unleashing unstoppable force in every bout, in Rotterdam in October 2005, Aleksander Emelianenko demonstrated his absolute power when he faced Rene Roos. From the first bell, the Russian unleashed a devastating offensive that, combining his stinging striking with the fluidity of his sambo techniques, left Roos with no chance.
Не обращают внимания на удар.
Every blow was a lethal success, and within seconds, what appeared to be a display of pure aggression turned into a swift knockout. It was a crushing victory.
Не обращают внимания на встречные удары. И тут же бросается на добивание. Вот это да. Очень своеобразная манера у Александра. Она далека. Пару ударов, а вот и Федор рядом.
Shortly thereafter, Emelianenko faced legendary judoka Pavel Nastula at Pride Shockwave 2005, a clash that represented the collision of two very different styles. While Nastula relied on his impeccable judo technique and experience, Emelianenko stood his ground, blending aggression with tactical refinement.
Emelianenko, much quicker and agile. They now hook up.
Deploying a series of explosive strikes and sambo maneuvers that sought to dismantle the solid defense of the experienced judoka Nastula.
In the waters. An interesting stance and a looping left misses from Nastula.
Nastula, known for his Olympic medals and his mastery in judo, reacted calmly and precisely, seeking to capitalize on any opening through grabs and takedowns that could neutralize the Russian's fury.
Again, great job on getting behind.
Just able to shut.
If Emelianenko try to slug it out the back door, he's going to put Nastula right down on and change positions with him. Hopefully Nastula can lock up either an armbar or...
Each exchange transformed into a battle of wills. The brutal Russian power clashed with the refined technique of the Pole, making every second of the fight a vital and tense fraction of time. After dominating the fight on the feet, the Russian took advantage of an opening to take the fight to the ground. On the ground, Aleksander displayed his mastery of the arts of submission, trapping Nastula in a devastating hold that culminated in a decisive submission. With a relentless rear-naked choke, he forced the Pole to tap out, sealing the victory in the first round in resounding fashion.
You know, kind of a stoic look on his face, not a lot of expression. Now he's smiling more and enjoying himself. And there he goes for the rear naked choke.
It's a little high, though. He's got his chin in there.
He's tapped.
Oh,
he's tapped
out. Oh,
he
my
tapped
God.
out. Just like a hard-fought victory for Aleksander Emelianenko.
This submission victory not only highlighted the power of his technique, but also reaffirmed his ability to transform every opportunity into an unforgettable finish in the octagon. After a disappointing loss to Josh Barner, Emelianenko returned to the octagon with a thirst for redemption that only a warrior of his caliber can embody. In his clash with Sergey Kharitonov during the Pride Final Conflict Absolute bout, he unleashed a devastating offensive from the outset. With a lethal combination of powerful and precise punches, Aleksander took control of the fight, imposing a relentless pace that left his opponent breathless.
Memorable MMA wars, these guys love to slug it out. Wasting little time.
Left hand will start dropping down around his waist.
Nice right hand there by Emelianenko, and you.
Both these guys, they're incredible foot speed, great motion.
Kharitonov attempted to respond aggressively, seeking counterpunches and creating space in the exchange. However, Emelianenko's speed and ferocity made the difference.
Just maybe Takanori Gomi would have something to say about that, but for a heavyweight, he's tremendous.
And he throws them in bunches when he throws them.
Within minutes, the Russian landed a series of devastating blows on the ground, culminating the fight with a spectacular first-round KO/TKO.
Now go to the 6-minute mark. And now Kharitonov challenges him, and Emelianenko.
He's went a little bit wobbly as he fell to the ground. He's in a bad spot right here. Kharitov's in a really bad way right now because you can't see from this position.
Nothing to defend these strikes. The left hands that is the referee going to allow. He's unintelligibly defending himself.
Done. Oh my goodness.
This performance not only showcased refined technique and undeniable power, but also resulted in a resounding response to the previous bitter defeat. Reaffirming his position among the division's elite, in a pivotal turn for the world of mixed martial arts, the UFC acquired the prestigious Japanese promotion Pride FC, marking the end of an era and the birth of a new global power in the sport. Many fighters left for the UFC, but sadly the Emelianenko brothers were never able to reach an agreement, forcing Aleksander to fight in his homeland, Russia, ultimately defeating them all. After an 8-fight winning streak, the clash between Peter Graham and Aleksander Emelianenko turned into a high-voltage strategic and physical battle. Chief Graham, playing an unexpected role against the imposing Emelianenko, displayed a meticulous plan from the outset, attacking his legs with a series of crushing kicks that sought to destabilize the Grim Reaper. As the second round progressed, Graham's strategy began to pay off. The repeated leg strikes took their toll on Emelianenko's base, reducing his mobility and ability to generate power in his offenses. With calculated aggression and high intensity, Graham intensified his attacks until finally, the effectiveness of his low kicks forced the referee to stop the fight, awarding a TKO victory to Peter Graham at 2:59 of the second round.
Aleksander Emelianenko!
At the M1 Challenge 28 event held on November 12, 2011, in Astrakhan, Russia, Magomed Malikov stunned the MMA world with a triumph of seismic proportions. With just 8 days' notice, the challenger seized the opportunity to face Aleksander Emelianenko, who was coming off a long layoff and with high expectations for his return. In the blink of an eye, Malakov unleashed a lightning-fast offensive that culminated in a devastating knockout just 20 seconds into the first round. The impact of the blow was as sudden as it was overwhelming, cutting short any chance of defense for Emelianenko and leaving both the public and experts perplexed by the speed and precision of the attack. This result ignited debates throughout the MMA world, reaffirming that in this sport, a single explosive exchange can alter the trajectory of established careers. In 2014, the Emelianenko family experienced a controversial episode that particularly affected Aleksander Emelianenko's public image. According to various reports, a fierce controversy erupted that year following accusations that Aleksander extorted sexual favors from his employee, triggering legal proceedings that tarnished his reputation and generated intense debate within the MMA community. After serving a 2-year sentence, he was released on parole, but this marked the decline of his career, distancing himself from his brother and leaving him in questionable physical condition. In 2016, he attempted a comeback in MMA, but was only a shadow of what he had once been, the best heavyweight in MMA. Aleksander Emelianenko has left an indelible mark on the history of mixed martial arts. His career is defined by electrifying bouts in which he fuses the tradition of Russian sambo with devastating striking, achieving feats that quickly disarm his opponents. This relentless Grim Reaper of the octagon stood out for his ability to dominate fights in seconds, which catapulted him among the heavyweight elite. However, his career has also been marked by controversial moments and ups and downs that have generated debate, both within and outside the MMA world. Controversies surrounding personal aspects and legal disputes have colored his image, displaying a duality between a brutally effective talent in the cage and a figure mired in controversy. This complexity humanizes his legacy, reminding us that in high-risk sports, success and adversity coexist inextricably. If you'd like to see more of his fights, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on upcoming stories and fights. See you in the next video.